From crazy caves to magnificent mechs, today we're taking a look at houses that have more than meets the eye. And we're going to start our journey with a home by Blackpatch on plot number 48. We'll revisit the water flowing out of the front door in just a moment, but first we got to take a look at what really sets this outside apart. If we were to look to the left of the home, we're met with this magnificent walkway. What makes this bridge across a little creek so unique is that this bridge leads to and is a part of the neighboring plot. You see, it turns out that plots 48 and 53 are so close that they actually share a workable outside border. And they've done such a good job of it that you really can't tell where one plot ends and the other begins. This is an excellent discovery, and I hope we get to see a lot more people use these two plots together in the future. Coming up to the front door, we can see what looks to be water leaking out and down the stairs, and when we get inside, we can see why. This entire home is one magnificent waterfall cavern. I love that the monk order hall guy here is holding a cup. It's so cool to see the splashing water all throughout, as well as the wide variety of different ways that they've made water features that we'll see as we go through. Halfway up, we've got this serene room on the left, with this fireplace nested on a small peninsula, water flowing all around it. And coming all the way to the top, we get to see the origins of this beautiful spring. I love how complicated this water feature is flowing down from the bottom. The foliage all throughout is great to see, and as we come to the very tippy top, we can see that the water itself originates from this fountain at the top. But of course, I did say these homes have more than meets the eye, and as we look past the fountain, we can see what looks to be an arrow made out of bushes pointing me to a secret side room. The creator was worried I would miss the secret room, and to be honest, I almost did. Coming into the secret room, we've got this bright, open dining hall, featuring a fully stocked bar on the left, a warm fireplace in the middle, and on the right, we've got a magnificent magical bed. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you would like to have your house showcased, there will be a link to the Pank Showcase Submissions Discord in the comments down below. And now for something a little bit unconventional. This is Perlittwo's Mega Mech on plot number 43, and we're actually going to combine the inside of this home with the inside of their other home. We'll talk about why when we get inside. The home itself is actually the body, while the structure of the limbs is made out of different carts that match the home's coloring and aesthetic. On one hand, we've got a Tauren water wheel combined with a dark iron drill, while on the other hand is made out of benches and shelves. The chains hanging down are made from the iron forged fences, and at the tippy top, we got this big man's little angry face. And believe it or not, this giant, magnificent mech is completely unrelated to the inside of the home. On the inside, Perlittwo has made their own custom underground city. Looking up and around, we can see the use of scale to make it look as though the city extends off into the distance, and that's something we'll get to see in a couple of the different rooms throughout this home. Now, one amazing feature of this underground city is that it has all the amenities you would expect from a city. Through this first door marked with a keg, we find the city's visitor center, where all those who come to stay are given their own mug of ale to enjoy. Meanwhile, through the door marked with a bush, we find this city's herbalism trainer, complete with a spot where you would expect the NPC to stand. Through the door in between marked with a hammer, we find the city's blacksmithing trainer, with metal and weapons strewn all about, an awning created by a bench, and if we look up, we can see more of that scaling effect used to create the feeling that this is just one part of a much larger city. Through the door marked with a goblin mechanical arrow, we find this city's engineering trainer, complete with a room full of energy pipes and mechanical doodads all over the place. Meanwhile, the door in the back here is both for storage and what looks to be a place for all of the waste to be piped to from the engineering trainer. Coming back through the courtyard and instead taking the door on the opposite side, we're met with the other professions that you would expect from a major city. Now, I love how much each and every one of these rooms nails the feeling of one of those profession rooms from a major city, but I think this one here, marked with a book on top, might be my favorite. The profession here is, of course, inscription, and I love to see how the different bookcases wrap up and all around where the NPC would be, and how the negative space up above is filled with those floating, rotating pages. The room in the middle, marked with the crystal on top, is, of course, the jewel crafting room, with all kinds of crystalline doodads against the wall and shelves filled with gemstones of every kind. As you've probably guessed, the door on the left, marked with a pelt is the building for the leatherworker. I love how this one not only has things hanging from the ceiling, but the floor itself is adorned with a bunch of different rugs, exactly like we would expect to see from a leatherworker trainer. Meanwhile, the last building on the first floor marked with the Kirin Tor symbol is, of course, the enchanting building, where we can see all sorts of magical artifacts across all of the shelves. Now, you may have noticed that one of the buildings in the courtyard did not have a marking above it, and that room is actually the stairway to the second floor of the city. At the top of the stairs, we're met with a viewing deck to look down below onto the courtyard, a small pathway on the right that takes us to a cozy little gazebo to lay back, and if we were to take the path to the left, we're met with what might be the most impressive use of scale and distance in the home. Looking up, we can see that it really does look as though the city stretches off into the distance, that what we have access to here is but a fraction of the total city itself. The building marked with the doormat is for the tailor, where we can see all sorts of different rugs and carpets and other cloth fabrications all across the floors, the walls, and the ceiling. And finally, hidden away through the secret path behind the bushes is the alchemy trainer. And I love how the darker theme here and the green liquids all throughout makes it look as though this particular alchemist might be a specialist in poison. Maybe this is where the city would also put its rogue trainer. And here we get to the part where we're actually combining the two different homes. You see, this underground city hits the decor limit, but the creator really wanted to include one more feature behind the courtyard, and so that's where the second home comes in. The building itself is magnificent. I love how it combines so many different decor items together to make it look as though this is its own independent building built into the mountain. The inclusion of the monk cherry blossom tree with flowers in a canoe, the splashing of the water all throughout, how on the right side we've got this gorgeous waterfall feature leading up to the Monk Order Hall bell. Coming through the entrance through this Pandaren hallway, we're then met with the restaurant itself. And right away, you can tell why this was not able to be included in the previous home. I love seeing all the little cups hanging from that bar in the middle, how they've made all of these different Pandaren items work together. It's so cool to see how some of the seating is more open and communal, particularly by the fireplace, while other parts of the seating are far more private. The initial bar at the entrance where you wait to be seated while also getting to look through the window at the kitchen is a lovely addition. And finally, coming through the back here, we can see the kitchen itself fully stocked with foods of all different types across all the bars, counters, and even custom storage on the ceiling. Up next, we've got a home filled with surprises. This is the home of Slim on plot number 46. I love the gladiatorial combative feel of the outside of this home. The Brawlers Guild fences all across the perimeter, this very imposing patio they have out front, using the dyed decor items to create their own custom threatening fence around the patio. To the left, past the training dummies, we've got a small eatery area for either contestants to refresh their fuel after a fight, or for the patrons to eat while they observe. Meanwhile, in the back is a throne next to a drum that you can imagine is used to start and end the fights. Now, I did say this home is full of surprises, and it is. But of course, what makes something a surprise is that you don't see it coming. And that's something that I love about this home, is that it doesn't give anything away. This first room here has a lot of features that I enjoy. The ceiling fan over the battle table. I love that the fireplace itself is well decorated with some knickknacks to the left and a cute little seating area to the right. And this room even features a custom pool table. Coming to the right, we're met with this fantastic throne room. I love seeing the Siege of Orgrimmar throne used to its fullest. The PvP items all around it, the ambiance created by the fireplace and the mantelpieces above the throne. Even a small magical study in the corner. But it's when we come through the bookshelf door on the side where this house's secrets finally become revealed. Looking all the way up to the top, we see the bat signal, and looking around, it quickly becomes clear that this isn't just a cave, this is the Bat Cave. On the right, we can see the Bat Computer ready to surveil the city. One of my favorite features is the high security cage protecting the bat suit, but it's actually when we turn to the right where we can see the Batmobile itself. and this thing looks gorgeous. It's incredible how they've gotten every detail right. The sculpting work, the fire on the back, the lightning coming out of the engine, even the seating area itself is fully modeled with buttons and a steering wheel. This is a fantastic work of art, and to pull the Batcave all together, we've got the face of the Joker on the wall just behind us. And believe it or not, that's not even the most impressive model work in this home. Coming through the main room behind the curtain here, we're met with what looks to be a bedroom. To the right, we've got a custom-made shower with a really nice custom shower head that even has water leaking out of it. What a great touch. While in the corner, we've got a custom-made PC. This one comes with a dual monitor setup, and we can even see some RGB on the PC itself. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got an aquarium. You can see the bubbles coming up, all the little fish tank decor, the little fishes themselves all throughout. It's such a clever way to use these little decor items to make what look to be little fish. Underneath the rock ramp, we've got a custom toilet with some little toilet rolls on the side. Meanwhile, coming up the ramp, we're met with this gigantic, magnificent dragon that looks as though it is actively clawing itself out of the wall. The dragon itself is an incredible effect, but look at how those claws have been shaped and modeled. The red stone to make the bloody claw marks, the pelts all over the floor to make the meal that the dragon has just ate. And in one of the corners, we've even got the dragon's eggs with a little whelpling that has just hatched. This piece here is absolutely magnificent. The modeling work, the amount of time it must have taken to shape out all of the different curves and features. And the fact that this is the same house with the Batcave and the Batmobile and the PC and the aquarium. This is absolutely incredible. From Batman to Bruce Wayne, welcome to another master of decor in the very same neighborhood. This is Maclaren on plot number 12 with a guided tour from their ultra-successful, ultra-wealthy Goblin alt. Welcome, boss, they say. You're standing in the finest piece of engineering gold can buy. Mechagon precision with undermine flair. Try not to touch anything, unless you can afford the repair bill. Maclaren then introduces us to the giant mech standing on their property. Now this beauty, they say, fully mechanized, triple reinforced, and only exploded twice during testing. That's what I call a success rate. Off to the right of the mech, Maclaren lets us know that there is in fact nothing here to see, so we head on inside. The immaculate entryway of the inside shows us that we are in for a treat, and while giving me a guided tour, Maclaren was kind enough to share with me their business wisdom. Mechagon taught me efficiency, they said. Undermine taught me profit. Put them together, you get machines that work hard and charge extra. That's the kind of business acumen you can only get from a top-tier successful goblin. Been working on some projects, they say. They even pull out one of their personal projects to show us a real test live. This is some state-of-the-art, never-before-seen footage of the first okay. Now as we enter the next room, Maclaren must have noticed my stunned expression because they asked me what? You don't think I have a big V? Of course I do. They say they've got a huge V, a TV, right there above the fireplace. Maclaren then shows us their sleek, modern kitchen, complete with a newly installed microwave and a humble top-of-the-line Maclaren fridge. Maclaren then shows us their High Rollers Christmas tree featuring only the most legally obtained gambling machines that money can steal. At the top of the stairs, we find Maclaren's, quote, Arabic seating hookah lounge named El Diwania, because nothing says relaxation quite like an Egyptian real estate investment corporation. But it's coming past the hookah lounge where we get to see what made Maclaren their millions. This, Maclaren says, are the crown jewels, their personal transformation units. 4 of them, because one giant robot just ain't good business. First up is Maclaren's completely original invention, Optimus Prime. The leader, the legend, the walking motivational speech. Maclaren upgraded this core for maximum power and minimum mercy. The tagline for this product? If leadership could punch, it'd look like this. Directly to the right is this little speed demon here, Bumblebee. Fast, loud, and hits way harder than he looks. Great for scouting and for wrecking anything that gets in the way. And as the little cherry on top, he's even giving the thumbs up probably. Don't let the size fool ya, Maclaren says. This one's a profit machine with fists. Directly across from Bumblebee, we've got Megatron. Yeah, I know, they say dangerous, unstable, world-ending. Relax, they've mostly got the control system working. When negotiations fail, Maclaren says, Megatron handles the hostile takeover. And finally, this chunky unit, that is Hound. Big belly, big guns, zero subtlety. He ain't built for speed, Maclaren says. He's built for making walls disappear. Up next, Maclaren offers to show us their office. This, Maclaren says, is where the big deals happens. This office comes with another TV that's even got its own remote control. Now at first, Maclaren tries to convince me that that's all there is, but I'm a night elf. I wasn't born yesterday, and if I know two things, it's that goblins always lie and Teldrassil will never burn. So after a little poking and prodding, Maclaren finally agreed to show me their secret. The treasure room contains all sorts of valuables and relics, and it comes with a state-of-the-art anti-goblin security device, a trap designed specifically to only hit people who are not goblins. Coming past the Transformers and to the left, we are met with Maclaren's Nightlife division. And past the comfy hard metal chairs is the Performance sector, Maclaren's personal concert hall. In the back, we've got a concession stand featuring what might be the single most incredible popcorn machine I have ever seen. It looks just like one of those real popcorn machines. I love the dyed pillows as the popped corn and the leaves as the kernels. It looks so good. Now finally, Maclaren shows us to the last major room of the home. Behind the red curtains here, we've got lights, bass, sparks. This ain't just a club, it's an industrial sound weapon. Maclaren then gives us the VIP treatment and shows us their handmade DJ set. Another example of Maclaren's incredible detail work. Not only does this DJ set look amazing, but so do all of the giant speakers all across the perimeter of the room. After a quick jam sesh, Maclaren shows us their command center, the quote man cave, where games are won, deals are made, and sleep is optional. As Maclaren kicks back on the sofa, we get to take a look at their incredible flat screen TV, the awesome artifacts all across the shelves, and this top-of-the-line gaming PC complete with gaming chair. The PC features a dual monitor setup, a nice keyboard and mouse, and even RGB lighting in and out of the case. Maclaren was especially excited to show us their new streaming cam. And finally, on the other side, we have the most bittersweet part of this home. Sweet because it's an amazing hot tub sized perfectly to drown a goblin. Bitter because it was installed right before Maclaren and partners became just Maclaren. The mysterious deaths of Maclaren's old partners made all the more tragic, knowing that they never got to try this hot tub. And now we go from high profits to the high seas, with Irishranger on plot number 31. And as you can already see, this thing is mind-blowing. Not just because it looks absolutely incredible, but because they've managed to do all of this with that paltry 250 decor budget. I love absolutely every bit of this. The dyed chairs on the sides to make holes for the cannons to come through. The fully detailed masts complete with a crew nest at the top. I love how the house itself is used to constitute the cabin of the ship. And on the back, we can even see that what propels this ship is a mix of different magics. We've even got some treasure in the middle, an awesome cannon on the front, and a custom-made steering wheel with a little recliner on the side. And get ready, because this is a home that keeps on giving. In fact, as all good captains do, Irishranger here has a model of their ship in a bottle inside the ship. Behind the ship, inside of the bottle inside of the ship, is the ship's engine room. Now, any mechanic will tell you that the more cylinders, the better the engine, and I see cylinders all over the place, so you know that this must be one advanced ship. Now, if instead of going to the engine room, we were to climb the centerpiece stairs here, we're then met with this giant, immaculate dining hall. Now, this room has so many defining features, from those dragons that we'll take a look at later, to this absolutely genius, custom-made clock on the wall here. The dining area features plenty of seating for the crew, as well as plenty of different food items to choose from. While if we were to follow Captain Irishranger to the right here, we're met with this ship's study room. We can see a nautical-themed fireplace in the corner, and I love the different variation of books all across the study. And it's touches like that that help take this to the next level. Captain could have just included the same bookshelf over and over again, but by instead using a bunch of different bookshelves from different parts of the world, it gives the feeling that this is a ship, this is a crew that has traveled, that has collected these books from all different corners of Azeroth. And as if that wasn't enough, this study even includes a secret below-deck passage to this ship's dojo down below. A dojo that includes every single weapon rack from all of the different order halls so that this ship can take on any crew. Behind the dining area is this ship's entertainment room, featuring a lovely chandelier, a custom-made pool table, a fully featured bar, and some, exotic dancers. Through the entertainment room, we're met with the ship's galley, which is Captainese for kitchen. One thing I love about this kitchen is not only do we have running water in the sink with a cup ready to be washed, but we also have a working, I think, toaster oven and a real oven. There's also a very elegant, expensive-looking refrigerator and a lovely little chicken coop. The small stairs connected to the big stairs takes us to a storage area where presumably the rum is being stored. And at the top of the stairs, we see the war room. The throne itself looks wild, the heart of Azeroth on top, the blue fires, the cup there for the captain to drink. And as we come around the war table into the balcony, we get a much closer look at these incredible custom-made dragons that we saw from down below. I love that one is breathing fire and the other magma, that one is a traditional purple dragon while the other is made of bone. And the windows all around the edge help to accentuate just how much the inside of this home really does mimic the shape of a ship. The room opposite the balcony is the master bedroom, the opulent, warm, well-tended place for the captain themselves to kick back and relax, complete with this elegant, expensive-looking hot tub that even has its own drink dispenser. I mean, talk about luxury at sea, it even has jets. The master bedroom has a full bathroom featuring a custom-made shower and a custom toilet that pipes out the back and uses a horde flag as toilet paper. Coming up the smaller stairs outside the war room, we're met with the barracks for the crew. A barracks that even includes double beds in case the crew ever wants to have a sleepover. I'm assuming that's what they're for. And last but not least, the captain shows us the secret, hidden path to where the treasure is stored. Walking through the bushes here, we get to see all of the riches that these sailors have secured. All obtained through legal means, of course, because you can't outlaw piracy since pirates don't follow the law. I love the variation of treasure that they have down here, and I also love the use of leaves to look like gold piles. What an absolutely exceptional, stellar, stand out, over the top, raising the bar, incredible home by Irishranger.